Yes, welcome back to the Sports Show. We're in the last quarter here. Now, lots have been said over the course of this year. A couple of things we need to touch on before we go. Of course, the passing of Keith Bradshaw to his family and all those, our condolences to you. Keith, for those that don't know, was instrumental, really, in getting day-night cricket into the Adelaide Oval in the Test format. So he was unbelievable in that. Obviously played a massive part in the T20s and all that. Passed away at such a young age, but should be remembered for the great contribution that he made to Adelaide Oval and cricket here in South Australia.
Yeah, sad to hear of his passing, but also, as we said, it's the legacy that you leave behind you. And we've got the T20 happening at the moment. We've got the Test cricket coming up in Adelaide later in the year. So
the Ashes is going to be big. It's going to be big.
Cricket's warming up, and I'm a big Bash fan. I like that format more so than the Ashes and the Test cricket.
Yeah,
I find the 5 day it doesn't work. It's too long.
It's really too long interesting one, and I've argued this and discussed it with a lot of cricketing people. So the players love the Ashes. That's what they grew up with. But I feel there's just a massive shift happening with your age group in that the Ashes are not going to meet. It's the traditional cricket. My mum and dad, and I'm a little bit of that, but I'm kind of caught in the middle. I quite like the T20 stuff, so I can
excitement.
I can see the Ashes eventually not meaning what they have over the generation. There's a tradition with them, but I think the younger generation, certainly my kids, they're not interested in the Ashes at all. The T20, we'll go to the T20.
Yeah.
It's a bit more fun. It happens quick. I haven't got 5 days to go to the cricket anymore. So it'll be interesting to see in 10 or 20 years' time whether the Ashes still has the same magnitude that it's got today. Ben Simmons, I know you want to know what's going on with Ben because you're always asking me what's happening with Benny Simmons.
Yes, Benny.
There's been a bit of talk. It's still in the infancy that the Boston Celtics have shown some interest in our boy Benny Simmons. That's a heck of a club to get involved with if the Boston Celtics come talking to you. So it looks like that there may be something happening there.
Do you think he'll fit in well with their culture and everything they've got going on there?
Yeah, I actually reckon it'd be a really good time to get him. I think he's ridden this wave of people not liking him and judging him on what's happened. And the Celtics have had a slow start to the season. They've only won 4 and lost 6 of their first 10 games. So I think he will give them a jump start. And I think he'll be really keen to show a lot of people that they're wrong about him. So I think it's that one where you get a player that's super talented, now with an attitude to, I'm going to show you what I'm all about, and in a place like Boston where they embrace their players and love them. So I think if he can get to Boston, the team is right for him, the atmosphere is right for him. I think it can be the perfect storm just settling nicely for Ben.
And how does that transfer work if the season's already started and he's sort of on one team and
it doesn't bother them.
It doesn't. They just slot in.
No, they do it all the time.
That's crazy.
There was a player. There've been players over the course of the last few years that are playing with, say, Philadelphia on a Monday night.
Yeah, right.
And then Tuesday night they're playing with Cleveland.
How good.
There's even been ones where they've played against the team and then the next night or 2 nights later they're playing with them. So you can go anytime you like. It's just a question of who wants to win.
It's such a different format than most sports.
It doesn't fit into the Australian culture, does
Yeah.
it? Hey, before we go, because we're on to the last show, and I want to make sure we say some special stuff about Isaac and what he did for Russell Ebert. What's been your favourite event this year?
Definitely the Olympics. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed sitting down and watching just every event. It wasn't more so, I loved watching the swimming because it was my first time not actually at the Olympics participating. So it was a bit of an experience, like sitting and being a spectator and being able to watch those events that you typically, when you're there as an athlete, you're so focused on what you're doing that you sometimes forget that there's so many other sports happening at the same time. And in the second week, the swimmers traditionally, we get to go and watch other sports. So we're quite fortunate in that way we were involved. But yeah, you're still so removed, even though you're there, and you would think that you would be more involved. But I feel like I was more involved by sitting on the couch at home. So yeah, no, I loved the Olympics, and there wasn't much that I didn't find interesting during that 2 weeks.
For mine, it's the Boomers, Paddy Mills, Joe Ingles winning bronze for the first time for the Aussies. It's funny, you talk about gold, we talk about bronze. So for me, that was probably my sporting moment. And it's interesting because you're a swimmer, so you have a love for your own sport. And there's been so many, Ash Barty's been phenomenal. But it's funny how you gravitate to the sport that you love when they have done really good things. And the fact that Tokyo could get the Olympics going. I think that was a major accomplishment in the COVID pandemic, so it was brilliant for them. Hey, we're going to close with Isaac Humphries. He's paid tribute to the great Russell Ebert last Saturday night in his tunes at the Entertainment Centre to the song Hallelujah. It is very moving and it is brilliant. Well done to Isaac. Great career and a great life by the great Russell Ebert.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. When she tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew maybe there's a God above, but all I ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody that can see the light. It's a chord and it's a broken